what would you say to people who are aspiring to be, artists? What would you say to them if they feel like they have this urge to create music, but maybe they're just not confident, you know, to start, or they feel like they may not have the gifts. Is it
Right.
something that you can develop, or is it just you're born with it?
Man, 10,000 hours, man. Like, and I'm telling you, man, hard work beats talent any day.
Mm,
Like even myself, constantly day after day, I'm practicing, practicing a new flow and or just working on delivery or ad libs or harmonies. There's always room for improvement. And I think the biggest thing that, I have to say to any up and coming artists and so forth, or someone who's lacking the confidence to just put their stuff out there is and just like stop sleeping on yourself. Like
mm,
you're hella dope. It's, people might say you're trash, but you know what? They said I was trash. People,
mhm,
they said J. Cole was trash. They
mhm,
said Mac Miller was trash.
mhm.
People are always going to find something to hate. Who
Yeah,
cares? You
yeah.
know, if you like music, create it.
That's
Just do
real.
it. Forget the doubters. Let them watch from the nosebleeds while you in the game,
Mm,
making
mm.
plays.
There you go.
Just do it for you. Don't do it for nobody else. Just do it for you. And when you do it for you, you will see the success that comes along with it.
That's beautiful. Hey, what's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Trache Talk podcast, episode 3. My name is Matthew Rathangzi. In today's episode, I have musician, dream chaser, songwriter, LeJon B from the Bay Area. This was such an amazing and inspiring conversation to have. We talk about how we're able to learn from each other's differences and also what inspires him to be a musician. Shout out to you, LeJon, for this merch right here, Authentic Vibrations, which is his latest project that he dropped earlier this year. And make sure you go check that out. Make sure you go stream it. And this was such an amazing and fun conversation to have. LeJon is so inspiring to be around. And that's it. And remember to take care of your temple. Talking about your mental. Hey.
It was all about, what I learned, from those experiences and from creating those songs. And I learned how to forgive and I learned to be thankful, and that's when you get tracks like All Right, Ooh, Out of Office. That's an acronym for Out of Office. I'm in the corporate world too. So I thought that was a nice touch. And then you close off the album, with Authentic Vibrations, which is all about being thankful.
It's beautiful, man. Do you have a favorite track on there?
Yeah, man. I like to say all of them, man. But I think my favorite track would definitely be It's Tough, but I would definitely go with I got to choose two, man. I would definitely go with
Over two then.
Cali Breeze, or All Right, man. All Right is definitely like one of my big time favorites because it helped me through a difficult period of my time, bro. So whenever I'm feeling low, I can listen to that song and it's just a constant reminder like, yo, everything's gonna be all right, man.
That's beautiful, man. Let's talk about those two songs then. Let's start with you said All Right, and you said was it
Cali Breeze.
Calais Breeze. You made a video to that as well, right?
Yes, sir. I love that video, man.
That's
Pay
dope.
homage to my guy Mac Miller, man.
There you go. There you go. Calais Breeze, man. It was a song about what it's like living out here in Cali, right?
Yeah, man. About see, so that was the hook, man. When, that was the clickbait. You get people in Cali Breeze and what it's like. But, I feel like Cali Breeze was all about, to me, all about like self-discovery. And you want it to be free like the Cali Breeze.
That's, yeah, that's what's up, bro. That's awesome. And then it was Cali Breeze, and then it was, why am I blanking this already? Cali Breeze, and you said,
don't worry, man, I got you. All right.
All right, there you
It's
go.
gonna be all
There you
right,
go.
bro.
There you go. And then that song you said it helped you through a tough time.
Yo, yeah, man. All right was dope track, man. Sometimes we have those moments where we just feeling like uninspired,
Yeah.
like not motivated. And I had this dope conversation with my little brother, and he was like just frustrated with life. He's 17. He doesn't really
Yeah.
realize what real problems are like
Right.
until he becomes, like a full blown adult.
That part.
Yeah, and he was just like going through it. And I remembered, man, at the end of our conversation, I was like, yo, everything's gonna be all right, man. Don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. Then I went home and then I made that hook. And then the verses followed.
That's dope, bro. Love it, man. And I like how you said like he hasn't faced like, the real problems. Once he hits an adult, that's when life starts, you gotta start figuring stuff out on your own.
Man, you gotta start
And
paying bills, man. You got
you're telling me, man, like
oh
that
man.
stuff is like, man, like I wish, you know, it's a good problem to have, I'm ready to have those
It's good
problems.
trouble, of
Yeah,
course.
you know what
I
I mean? Like
appreciate that.
there's other people out there, like how you said when you went to the Philippines or China, that's I'm not sure what part you in, but I mean you understand like we have it pretty good over here.
Super
What I mean?
grateful, man.
Yeah.
Like seeing that in real time, super impactful, man. I'm like, there's people out here who don't even have shoes and so forth. And you come here, I'm like, I'm just thankful for everything I have. I may not have like everything I want, but I
Mhm.
have my needs,
Yeah,
my essential needs.
that's awesome, man. How did you come up with the name Authentic Vibrations? Like what did that
Yeah.
come from?
You know what? To be honest, if I even tried to backtrack, I don't even think I can remember, man. This was
Really?
2000. This was 2018. So
Hmm.
2017, I released like my first EP. It was kind of
Hmm.
like a beta test and see like, yo, like what is my sound? Like what do I sound like on
Hmm.
other, type of music and so forth.
Yeah.
2018, I had this point in my life where like I had no idea what I was doing. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, like what is like I'm moving without purpose, I'm like I'm just hella stagnant. And and one thing I did know for sure is like I needed to get away from, just everything. And that's when solo traveling crossed my mind. So
Mm.
I solo traveled to China and I loved it so much because it gave me the opportunity to vacation from my it gave me a chance to vacation from my priorities, man. It gave me a chance to vacation from my expectations, my self expectations, family expectations, and just all the expectations that that I felt society was
Mm.
putting on me. And it could have been something I made up. I don't know.
Right.
The mind is very
Yeah, for
so.
sure.
I was thinking like I'm like, you know what? I look at the first album cover, it's pretty much like paint on a face and so forth. But I saw it as like a puzzle, it didn't reveal my whole face. It only
Hmm.
revealed probably like 35% of it, 40
Hmm.
at, max. But it was all about like finding my identity, man, like finding
Mm.
who I was. And,
Yeah,
and I think you can only do that by being authentic with yourself.
that's
And
beautiful.
when I look at my music and I hear the sounds, and the melodies and so forth, um, and then that's when the vibrations came in. And I'm
Hmm.
saying, let the music vibrate, through your soul, and through you, and it will transfer that same energy to other people. So
Hmm.
that's where authentic vibrations came from initially.
Gotcha. I like that. You said it was almost like a self-discovery kind of project for you, or in the beginning, that's how it started, finding yourself, finding your identity. And I think that's something that, you don't fully really, I guess, own who you are until, I would say, at least right now, like at this age, I'm 25, but like I feel like I'm finally owning who I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
I kind of relate to that where it's just, I'm at the point where I think, I think I'm pretty confident in like, okay, this is who I am. You know, I've gone through life and had different experiences, but you know, I'm choosing to be, you know, me now, you know what I mean? You know, forget all the societal expectations. I'm choosing to be me. You could like or dislike me, you know what I mean? But at
Right.
the end of the day, I think that's beautiful. You gotta choose to be yourself, you know what I mean, and choose to go on that self-discovery path. And you know, for you, speaking of self-discovery, you know, obviously that's the talent and gift of yours is to create music. What do you have you always felt like music was like your path, or have, you know, what made you choose music?
Yeah, man. I've been doing music since I was a kid. It's always been kind of, excuse me, it's always been like embedded inside me. You know, I think
Mhm.
early on, you know, as early as like seven, 7 or 8, I was in like my church choir, you know, so I wasn't like lead or anything, you know, but
Mhm.
I was in there, you know, I was harmonizing
Yeah.
back. So, you know, people probably didn't hear me, but, you know, the music was flowing through me, man. I
Mhm.
used to try be a when you come to family gatherings and everything, you know, try to be the entertainer, you know, singing, dancing, you know, like I said, you know, I was probably terrible at the time. And, you know,
Mhm.
it kind of just escalated. You know, I think recall back in middle school, you know, I started writing, started doing poetry. And then, you know, that transformed into creating lyrics. And in
Mhm.
high school, you know, that's where um, I became an artist. You know, made music on YouTube. I used to do covers back then. You know, people were getting discovered. YouTube back then, back in 2008,
Mhm.
is, you know, was what TikTok is today. You know,
Right, right.
people were getting discovered and so forth. So I was doing covers to people's favorite songs, and I had like over 100,000 views on YouTube,
Nice.
like 400 subscribers, and I thought I was doing the thing, man, and performing and everything. And then I went to college and I was still doing music, and but music took a back seat because being a first generation college student is hard as hell. In addition to trying to do all these other things, you know, in the mix. But once I got back to the grind, this was what 2017. My boy Connor, he put me back on, had me jump on one of his tracks, and it was a rebirth. And
Mhm.
I and I've been at it ever since. I tell myself if I ever do it again, I'm going all in. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
investing into myself, investing in my craft, not only on the creation side of things, but the marketing side of things. I'm really putting my best foot forward.
That's awesome, man. That's beautiful. It's cool, like how you've always known that you know, music was your thing, and you recognize that it was uh, the talent, and that talent was there, and you probably felt like it was always, you know, you were always drawn to it. You know what I mean? Um, what do you, what would you say to people who are aspiring to be, you know, artists? What would you say to them if they feel like they have this urge to create music, but maybe they're just not confident, you know, to start, you know, or they feel like they may not have the gifts. Is
Right.
it something that you can develop, or is it just, you know, you're born with it?
Man, 10,000 hours, man. Like, and I'm telling you, man, hard work beats talent any day. You know,
Mm,
like even myself, constantly day after day, I'm practicing, you know, practicing a new flow and or just working on delivery or ad libs or harmonies. You know, there's always room for improvement. And I think the biggest thing that, you know, I have to say to any up and coming artists and so forth, for someone who's lacking the confidence to just put their stuff out there, is and just like stop sleeping on yourself. Like
mm,
you're hella dope. You know, it's people might say you're trash, but you know what? They said I was trash. People,
mhm,
you know, they said J. Cole was trash. They
mhm,
said Mac Miller was trash. You
mhm.
know, people are always going to find something to hate. Who
Yeah,
cares? You
yeah.
know, if you like music, create it.
That's
Just do
real.
it. Forget the doubters. Let them watch from the nosebleeds while you in the game, making
Mm.
plays.
There you go.
Just do it for you. Don't do it for nobody else. Just do it for you. And when you do it for you, you will see the success that comes along with it.
That's beautiful. That's very beautiful. I agree, man. Like I think too many times we give up on ourselves. You know what I mean? I think we all go through it. Some people learn that lesson pretty quick. Others takes a while. You know what I mean? We all come from different backgrounds, so we all deal with things differently. But
Right.
it's beautiful, man. Like I agree. Like if you had like for myself, I've always been drawn to music as well, but never thought like, man, like I don't know. I don't know if I have the talent, but sometimes I'll just find myself like, a bar or a rhyme will come to mind and like, oh, let me write that down real quick. And it's just kind of starting that process, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of like you look like you want to
Yes. See, sometimes I get this look on my face like
yeah,
it wasn't come out, but
yeah.
I was like, you said something that caught my attention. You said, like sometimes you get these thoughts in your head, as in like, oh, I'm not dope, or or like I don't have the bars or the talent or so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is like, who said that?
Right.
It's like we don't have the evidence to back up, our own self-critic.
Ooh,
I'm like, yo, who said that? Like, you need to
right.
check in with yourself and say, can I prove that I suck? like,
Yeah.
do I have evidence to back this up? And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have evidence, or if you have more evidence that's against that thought, then don't go with that thought, man. Like
Yeah.
that thought's super trash, man. Go with the good one.
That's real. That's hella real. Yeah, it's literally all about your mindset. You know what I mean? That's with anything, man.
Facts, big
That's
facts.
with anything. I think, one thing like for me myself, I'm learning, starting to just make decisions for myself that benefiting my life. Doing this podcast, something that I've always thought that, man, like I've always felt like I should, but then I was like, damn, I'm afraid what some people are going to say, people that I care about, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
was like, why, if I died today and I got shown the person who I was supposed to be, and, a podcaster is one of them, and I got shown all the possibilities of what could have happened had I, taken that step and did that podcast.
Yeah.
If I was shown that person at the end of my life, and I didn't choose to go on that path of, being a podcast or going after whatever I wanted to go after, I would feel devastated, you know what I mean? And so that's always like, I don't know if that's a good thing, but like my fear is almost like my fear of who I don't want to become is driving me towards who I want to become. You know what I mean?
Bro, I get it, man. It's like the quote on my Instagram. I don't know if it's still on there, but it's been there for a long period of time. Even, it's on some of my marketing efforts today, I always say, leave this earth with like memories, not
Mm,
dreams,
yeah.
and that's exactly what you just said. I want to be appreciative of my life. I want to feel fulfilled,
Mm,
and whatever that may mean, I'm gonna do it.
yeah. Yeah. It's that decision. You have to make that decision.
Um,
Like for me, I just like, I said, screw it. Like, I'm just going to go after it. And if I fail, I fail. I learned that, hey, that's probably not for me then. Me, I try. I never want to leave this earth or this type of, or this life asking the question, what if, what I mean? That would
right.
suck. That would
But I don't
suck.
even think it's failure though. If you learn that it's not for you, you didn't really
Yeah.
fail. You just
Right.
you just learned.
Exactly. Yeah. You just learn. And I think that's one thing that I think, kind of ties in with everything going on right now. You know what I mean? We're learning about each other. You know what I mean? We're learning about uh, just, I just feel like now more than ever, we're in a space where the internet is so powerful that we're able to connect instantly. And therefore, this it almost feels like with how terrible things have been, I honestly I feel like we're getting better. You know what I mean? Like I just feel that sentiment. Like everyone's kind of seeing we all hurt. We all bleed the same. We all feel the same emotions. You know what I mean? Um, but sometimes I'm afraid to voice stuff like that. I'm like, dang, like I don't know. Like, is that just me, or just how do you feel about that?
Yeah, man. I think sometimes, um, we don't even know how to provide the support to those who may not know.
Hmm.
And I think sometimes we're even afraid to ask because we don't know the language to use.
Hmm.
And sometimes, there isn't a right, choice of language.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just saying like, hey, I don't know how to say this, but take it with a grain of salt. I'm just gonna say it, you know.
Yeah.
And if they have the knowledge, to educate you, then that's what I would hope for them to do. It's like, all right, I hear you, but this is how I would like to hear it, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think, I'm kind of thinking about the question, you asked earlier about, what are some things that we can do, just to, um, not necessarily resolve this, but to make people understand, things a little bit more and put things into perspective. You know how, they have like those foreign exchange programs, and,
Hmm.
people from different countries can live here in US, or I guess they call them air pairs,
Hmm.
and so forth. We need like more of those, man. We need to take
Yeah.
some of these CEOs, and
Hell
we
yeah.
need to
I
take some of
agree.
these people who are unfamiliar with our culture and stuff, man. We need to give them a week in our shoes, like go to
Yeah.
a black church, go, go experience culture.
Yep.
And I bet you, I guaranteed you, by the time that week is over, you're gonna be like, oh wow, I learned more in this week
Yeah.
than I learned in my 40 years, my 60 years of
Yeah.
life.
No, that's real, bro. I agree. We ought to like have programs where we're having to learn about each other, and I think that would do a whole lot of good, and it'll do a whole lot of healing for a whole lot of people. And so, man, that's dope, man. I agree. We should have more stuff like that.
Yeah, man, we need those. We need those.
You seem very because not a lot of people are understanding or even seek to understand other people's perspective, but you seem to be someone who does that, who does actually make the effort to understand other people. Where do you get that, I guess, the ability to kind of like be vulnerable, or I guess humble yourself to say, hey, I don't know, or let me just ask, or let me try to understand. Where do you get that from, or did you learn that, or
Yeah. Kind of both, man. I always say like I was like the superpower I was born with, it would definitely be empathy. That's always been my superpower. And then when I went to school, I actually majored I got a degree in sociology, and
Mm,
sociology changed my life, bro. Just and it's just um how they just break things down and really talk about how, it's not necessarily the individual about the individual, is how the community and the environment impacts the individual, so just having that drilled, inside, just drilled into me, it created, it became the foundation of my mind.
mhm,
So I always approach everything, from a sociology, like a sociology, perspective, and I always think about, those external factors, that may play into those internal factors,
mm.
and so forth.
Yeah, that's crazy that how that your environment really does dictate who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Um, if you're in a crappy environment, chances are that's gonna become you. You know what I mean? That environment eventually takes you on, and it manifests itself in who you become as a person. You know what I mean? And so I know myself, like I recognize that truth. That is a I think that's a principle that will always remain true. Like your
Right.
environment will always dictate who you become, and so um, it's always important to protect that. You know what I mean? To always make the choice to make sure that your environment is fostering your growth and your development, and that, and it has support and love for you, so that you can be that person you've always wanted to become. Yourself, how do you, I guess, how's your environment? How do you agree with that sentiment, or uh, do you keep certain people around you?
Yeah, of course. I always gotta keep myself, oh, excuse me. I always
Mhm.
have to keep myself grounded, man. I've been in a self-discovery journey, for the past, year or so. This is brand new. I always felt
Mm.
that, I was a good person, and I had all the tools necessary to grow and flourish. However, I realized that I was never rooted. And
Mhm.
what that looks like now is that, what keeps me grounded is, I look at my core values. I look at like authenticity, I looked at integrity, purposeful, and so on. And I make sure that everything that I'm doing aligns with my core values.
Mhm.
And if it doesn't align with my core values, I want no parts of it, because
Mhm.
it's going to take me away from my peace, because that my core values sets me up, and is was built to create my peace, to
Mhm.
protect my peace.
Mhm.
um so anything that doesn't align um with those, I'm looking at my board here because I have them on
Uh-huh.
the wall every day, so I can look at them and say, all right,
Yeah.
you know uh if it doesn't align with any of those seven values, then I don't want zero, I want zero parts of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. That's what did you have to learn that, or like did you, because I went through something similar where I wouldn't call it therapy. It was talking to more of like a coach, and they were
Dang.
kind of walking me through, like, okay, what are your values, and pretty much out of that, like everything that you do should line up with those values. You know what I mean? It's kind of like in Christianity, like everything that they kind of base their lifestyle on is comes from the Bible. Is that something that you went through, or like how did you come up with that? You know,
I had a
like,
coach.
okay.
Yeah, I had a coach. I had a job coach, and then I watched a lot of Dexter too. I don't know if you're a fan of Dexter. Dexter has his own little moral code that was created. And that kind of helped me put things into perspective too. I love that show, and I
Oh,
have a
okay.
track named Dexter too, so I got to throw that in there.
Yeah, yeah, you do that. You do. I do remember that. You must be a really big Dexter fan then.
Dude, man, I binge watched that. What was it 8 seasons in like 2 months?
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I am new to the show, man. I caught on in 2020.
That show's been around forever, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm the newbie to it.
Oh, really? You just discovered it?
Just discovered it when we first hit the pandemic. I was like, well, ain't got
Uh,
nothing to do. And someone advised that I watch Dexter. I said, all right, say less. And
yeah.
and 100 hours later,
Wow. I, I gotta watch it. It must be pretty good then.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Go ahead and watch that. No, I just hope you space it out and don't do 8 seasons in 2 months.
I'll try not to. I'll try not to. Uh, yeah, that's pretty dope, bro. Dexter is gosh, I lost my thought, bro.
Yeah, my bad, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I don't know
But
why
it
I
was a
can't.
job coach. It was a job coach. They
There you
taught me
go.
about the core values,
Yeah, there
and,
you go.
yeah, yeah.
Job coach. There you go. That's pretty dope. Your job provides job coaches or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
did
They
you pick
have
that one
this.
out?
Yeah, they have this benefit where at my job, where you can talk to like a anonymous coach in regards to dealing with management, or you have like stressful work situations and so forth.
Mhm.
And I found like this one, who like understood me from like she understood my spirit,
Mhm.
and I think that's rare to find. When you find those people you click with right away,
Yeah.
that's because you guys connect spiritually on like all these different levels,
Mhm.
and she was that person.
Okay.
So she got it, challenged me, um, and Yeah, man, I feel more grounded than ever, man. I feel more equipped to deal with the day-to-day BS so I can stay peace and centered, at peace and centered.
Yeah, there you go. I'm very much the same way, bro. Like I understand people from a perspective of I don't know your story, I don't know what you've been through, but um, I know you are the way you are for a reason, and so I try to put that in perspective. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I kind of have my worldview is like everyone gets their own crap. You know what I mean? And
So,
so it's just like, all right, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, and uh, I know that I believe in you enough to to make adjustments in your life to better accommodate yourself. And so that's kind of the way I look at people as well. It's just like, yeah, let me pause because it's not really me, but it's really them kind of thing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
and that's powerful though, right? Right? As you
Yeah.
realize, like when you're going through that motion, like how do you feel when you realize, like, all right, this isn't a reflection on me. This is actually a reflection on how you think and who you
Hmm.
are.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good, man. Um, Solo traveling. Let's go back to that. You said you've been to the Philippines and China, um, and those are some of your favorites. You would say?
Yeah, they're my favorite. My favorite so far. Canada's on that list too, but I live really like if you're from the Bay, you're from the States, you live super close to Canada. So does that really count? Like, I mean, it counts, but you know, we're like we're like cousins,
Right,
essentially.
right. Pretty much. I would agree. Yeah, Canada is like visiting just another part of the United States, pretty much.
Right? I
I feel
love
like.
Canada. I love Canada. I love the culture. I love the people in Canada. For anyone who may be Canadian, I love you all. I love you all. But you guys are like my distant cousins, and that's another
Yeah.
reason why I love you.
Heck yeah. No, I agree. I feel like they're all nice over there. It's just hella nice and
It
just
was so nice. So
have you
nice.
have you been?
Oh yeah. The money is ridiculous too, as in, just how it looks, man. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. I love Canada, man. It's just a good culture. I had a
Yeah.
great time when I was there.
Yeah. I've always wanted to visit there as well. I kind of like traveling like yourself. Like there's so many places I want to go to. And I will go to.
There we
uh,
go.
yeah, and I'm so fascinated with like Mediterranean culture. So I'd love to visit like probably Rome, Italy. Uh,
Same.
yeah, I just feel like you could be immersed in that kind of like because it's so ancient. There's so much history that comes from those, that little area right there. We kind of get everything from that area. You know what I mean? If you really think about it.
Right? It's gonna change your life, man. Like as soon as you step off the plane, your life is gonna be changed, man. You're gonna be like, wow, I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah.
And just soaking in all that culture and just all that experience, man, is gonna change how you look at things, and it's a beautiful thing.
Hmm. Who do you draw inspiration from? Like, who are some people? It could be like people who are, I guess, famous, or they don't have to be. Maybe it could be a family member, friend. Who
Yeah.
do you draw inspiration from?
You know, I think I can draw inspiration from almost anything, and when it comes down, it can be, I draw inspiration from people, stories, TV shows. Like last week, like I watched an episode of Insecure, it was my first time,
Hmm.
and I got inspired by one of the characters, pain and they're hurt. And then I wrote a song about it. Um,
Nice.
like he got hurt in a relationship and he coped by, dating other women
Mm,
very quickly, just, hop off one train and got on to the next one.
mm,
And, I learned and, like he never really truly healed from, his stress issues that he developed.
mm.
So, I really wanted to touch on that like mindset and so forth. So I drew inspiration from it. I wrote a song.
Nice.
And you talk about people. Um, inspirations, from a musical perspective, Big Sean, I love Big Sean, J. Cole, like Mac Miller, like Kendrick, like Euros. This is guy out. Euros is this rapper from Las Vegas, super dope. Bars for days, Jay-Z, man, is just anyone who is living and breathing, their passion. That's enough inspiration for me, man. That's all I need. And that's why I keep things like this on my wall, because once upon a time, they was just like me,
Yeah.
And it's inspiration as in, like, if they did it, why can't I do it?
Right. No, that's beautiful, man. Yeah, J. Cole. I think J. Cole's dope. Kendrick's dope. Mac Miller. Everyone you said, Jay-Z, OG in the game. You know what I mean? What I really like about Jay-Z is his ability to be a business, you know.
Mogul. Oh,
Yeah,
big
mogul. There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Big time.
Big time. And so he's like, he pretty much said, I did it in the music game. Let me do it in the business world. And he pretty much, I'm sure he's like the richest, I guess, quote unquote rapper, right?
Right. I saw this this picture. He's just like won a Grammy, and he has his cognac, his cognac dose, and they poured the dose. He poured the dose in the Grammy, and drank from the Grammy. I'm like, yo, that is the dopest thing I've ever seen. Like, that is like the epitome of self-made right there, man. Your Grammy that you earned from your music, you're drinking your liquor from your Grammy. Oh my gosh, man, I was just so inspired by just that one picture alone.
That's hella dope. That's a dope ass. It was cool to be inspired by that, because that's something like I would see that too, and I'd be inspired by that too. Like, damn, that's hella tight. Like,
self-made.
He really did it. He really did that. I think I saw like Drake do something very similar to that, where I think he got a Grammy off of his first studio album. I saw him do the same thing. It was pretty. That's what it reminded me of too. Did you see that?
I didn't see that, but I love Drake. But Drake doesn't have his own liquor yet. All right.
he actually
He's
does.
not drinking his own liquor from his Grammy. Not yet.
Not yet.
But he will. He will be.
I thought he had Virginia Black.
Oh, then you just educated me, man. I had no idea. So I'm gonna look that up.
Okay. Yeah. He doesn't really promote it as much now, but I remember him talking about it in some songs. And it's I guess, yeah, it's a whiskey. It's a whiskey, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, right on. Wait, it's called Virginia Black. Make sure I know.
I've actually had that before. It's pretty good. It's not. I mean, I feel like a lot of liquor kind of tastes the same anyway.
All right, there you go, man. I just had to.
No, yeah, look it up.
I'm gonna try it. All right, there we go.
Good. Found it?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, man. I just have to make sure screenshot or something, man. I just need to show that I need to try. I want to make sure, man.
Yeah, no, yeah. Do you listen to Drake at all too?
Yeah, I listen to Drake, man. Drake is pretty dope. To be honest, he's one of the hottest in the game right now. We talk about from a hit maker. Like, he's a walking hit.
Yeah, literally,
he's a walking hit.
I'm so surprised. Like, I guess now, like, it's one of those things where, like, dang, like, he's really been doing it for a while too. You know what I mean? Like, because back then when people would pop off, like, they would pop off for a little bit, then you don't hear about them for a long time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when he first popped off, it's almost like he got on this momentum, and it just kept going up and up and up and up. And I feel like it's still going up. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of wild how he kind of has this, I don't know, it's almost like this, I guess, way to him, like, that kind of keeps him, like, relevant. I don't know. It's strange, right? He's been around for so long.
He's just the greatest, man. When you got that type of, like, gravitational pull, that like, you're gonna be around for a while.
What do you think it is?
Not around, you're gonna be around for a while.
No, I agree. What do you think that is? Like, why do you think he has that?
It's just, man, that's as you mentioned, man, just the consistency and man, he's always delivered. And I
Hmm.
think a lot of people, we should be striving to do the exact same thing. How can we be Drake in our day to day,
Hmm.
as being the best, and you know, we've seen him put in the work from his first mixtape to where he is now, with the
Yeah.
different flows. I don't care about the ghost writing or anything about that. This is the music industry, all right? I ain't care
Exactly.
about none of that. The delivery is still on point,
Yeah.
So just to kind of see, hit all these milestones, like they're gonna they have no choice but to be around,
Hmm.
it's man, like they're big. No one can strip those accomplishments away from you. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, man, there's no one in the world who don't know who Drake is.
Yes, that's crazy. That's a crazy thought. Like, you think about how big, like when I'm originally from Fresno, you know what I mean? And I thought I knew quite a bit of people. Then I move out here
Right.
to the Bay. I'm just like, dang, there's so many more people that I don't know. And so it's like, you look at Drake, like he probably can't go anywhere without being recognized, probably being mobbed.
Back,
You
back.
know what I mean? And so it's so weird, like how he was able to just figure that the music, his sound, and like his sound is literally like him, you know what I mean? And he was so authentic to that. And so I think a lot of people can learn from that too. Like it's just literally you have to find your lane and just ride that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Give it your all, and you're serving. I've heard the saying like, your gift is uh, from God, and what you do with it is a gift to God. You know what I mean? Does that make
Right.
sense? So
Right.
your gift is a gift from God, and your gift back to God is what you do with it. And so with him, he figured that out. He figured out how to. Um, and I like studying him too, because he what he really does is like he'll get these rappers that are up and coming, and he'll do a song with them, and then those rappers pop off, and then their song together will pop off. And so it's like I noticed that about him. He's very smart in the way he just even promotes himself, because when those new rappers pop off, it's almost like free marketing for him too. So he'll always
Man.
stay kind of like relevant. You know what I mean? Which I
And,
think is a genius move. You know what I mean? Because he's also co-signing them, saying, "Hey, like you know, I like their music too."
and the best thing about that is that, a lot of people don't know these guys, that he's co-signing, So for example, if he's co-signing Matt and then they Google Matt, and like, what? Matt has a podcast too? And then they're
Yeah,
gonna look at all your episodes, and then you're gonna be making money off episodes you done
yeah,
like 3 years ago, So
yeah,
that's like true ownership when you have that residual income coming in. And
yeah,
that's the thing, what you're doing now is going to set you up for the future. It may take a while for the needle to move, but once that needle move,
yeah,
oh yeah, you're going to see the results
for sure. No, I
down the
believe it
line.
too. I believe it too. It's all about that consistency, right?
Yes, sir.
That's that consistency. All right. Let me see where we're at with time real quick. 8:11. Oh, been about an hour already. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of, you know, just wrap things up, but just kind of I have final questions that I like to ask.
Right on.
Um, and I think thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today, and for whoever's listening or watching. And I think honestly, bro, I think a part of the first episode, or the beginning part of our conversation, got cut off because I thought I was recording. Apparently, I paused it, but we were still able to get a lot more content after that. So,
Yeah,
but
no worries.
couple questions. Um, what if you were to like go today? God forbid, but God said like, "Hey, like it's your time to go." Um, what is like the one thing that I guess you would leave this world with, like I guess a lesson or something that very powerful that you learned? What's something that you would leave saying, hey, like this is essentially, like, what would you say life is about?
Yeah, man. I think about this a lot, and this is a big reason why I'm doing music. I always aim to leave behind a legacy. Something that tells my truth and something that tells my story and something that other people can use as a source of power and information. So what I'm doing now, I felt like if God forbid, knock on some wood, if things, things don't pan out the way I wanted tomorrow, and I'm no longer here, I felt that my purpose has been fulfilled.
Mm,
I was here to impact people, and I feel that I'm doing it, and I've been doing that.
mhm,
So as long as I'm aligned with my purpose, I will always feel fulfilled. But in the long run, uh, what I would like to do in the near future is help other people get to the point where they can live out their dreams as well.
mhm.
Always been a goal of mine to create like a scholarship foundation, um,
Nice.
and just kind of give back to those who wore similar shoes,
Mhm.
and just kind of serve as some inspiration.
That's awesome, man. I like what you said of, just leaving that legacy. You know what I mean? Leaving that legacy behind and allowing others to benefit from your gift as well. I think that's, the gift that keeps on giving. If you can do that, then I think you've done very well for yourself in this lifetime. Um, but what, we're here on this flying rock. We're floating in space. We're on this flying rock. My laptop's gonna die. Hopefully, I can get this question in before it ends. But we're on this flying rock.
All
In the
right, fun
middle of
rock.
this gigantic universe, right?
All right, big
And
universe.
what do you think? The meaning of our life is like. What do you think life is?
Oh man, damn! I like that big question before, man. This is,
I like
oh man,
I like I like going deep, man. So I like asking
yeah. I
these
think,
these thought provoking questions.
man, I think life is all about the journey. And does it have an end destination? I don't necessarily think it does.
Hmm.
There's no end destination. I think, on your journey, the goal is all about who you bring along with you on that journey. And I think we talked about, a domino effect and ripple effects or so forth. It's how can I inspire someone to invite someone else on this journey?
Hmm.
And it's just constantly us just walking in alignment together for something greater than us.
Hmm.
And it's like a never ending cycle. So if we're talking about being in outer space on this big rock, the goal is to just rotate around that
Hmm.
nonstop, until our purpose is complete.
Hmm.
And then the circle continues
Yep.
till someone else's purpose is complete, and so on. So it's all about just really nurturing one another, and really helping each other, grow. And that's what I think life is about, man.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, I just wanted to hear your perspective on it. It's something like I want to keep doing for, all I guess just like, hey, like, what do you think, you know, this life is about? You know what I mean?
That's a challenging
Because
question too. That's a hard one.
yeah, it's a big question. Because I think we at some point you have to think about that. You know what I mean? You have to think about like, okay, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like what are we doing here on this planet? And if anything, like I agree with you. You know what I mean? It's just to leave that positive impact, and so that the cycle of growth and self-discovery continues. But yeah, man, thank you for your time. Thank you for the conversation.
Most
Uh,
definitely
you know,
appreciate it.
where can people find you, man? What do you got going on next?
Yo, so you can find me on all streaming platforms. If you type in LeJon B, don't forget the period after the B. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, whatever you listen to, I'm there. LeJon B. All my social channels, all my social handles, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is all at John the Prince, JONTHA Prince. Um, and, and yeah, man, come holler at your boy. Come holler at your boy. Follow me on this journey because who knows where it may lead. But at the end of the day, you just know you're going to get some inspiration. And it's not going to be sporadically. Is going to happen frequently. It's going to happen
I love
because
it,
I don't
man.
hold back.
I love it, man. Yeah, you definitely inspiring to be around. Definitely a positive person to be around. So,
Yo, likewise, man. If you spot it, you got it, bro.
hey, I like that. I like that. Well, thank you, man. Um, yeah. LeJon B, thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you where your journey takes you, and I look forward to more projects you're going to be working on and listening to, your content and whatever you decide to do. But thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Likewise, appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.